แสงสียามราตรีแสงสียามราตรี ฮัลโหลครับ
พี่โดโดสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ โอเคอ่านะฮะแป๊บหนึ่งนะครับเดี๋ยวI have to see this kind of thing first โอเคพร้อมหรือยังนะพร้อมสัมภาษณ์หรือยัง
อ๋อ
พี่จะทำเป็นแบบเหมือน mock interview เลยได้ไหมหมายถึงว่าเดี๋ยวเรา fix base
อ๋อ
มาก
ได้ครับ
แต่ว่าเดี๋ยวพี่จะพยายามถามให้ flow แบบเหมือนแบบคล้ายๆวันจริงแล้วกันแบบ introduce whatever อะไรพวกนี้ไปนะครับดีไหมโอเคนะพร้อมนะโอเค all right so can you tell us a little bit more about you
my is Hanas Yawalategeng. I I am medical student in Chulalongkorn University in year two, and I have a lot interest in physiology a lot. So that is one of the reason that I want to go to the physiology competition.
Mhm. Okay. I just wanna maybe edit a little bit when you say something because I do understand that for the first part of your introduction, you have to make sure that you get. I mean, personally, for the interview day, you have to make sure that the interviewee can feel that you hook something. I mean, you make them feel interested in you. So basically, for the first part of your introduction, I have to say that first of all, you can talk about yourself. Okay, let's say my name is Panat. You can call me and try to see the eye contact with the interviewer too, right? And after that, you have to say about your background study. I would say that you can start from your high school to be more detailed and you can be like express that what you did while you were in the high school too. For example, like if you were attend to the Olympic science mathematics competition, you can say like that. And after that, you can go into the present time. For example, like you are a medical student here, and you can say I'm second year or sophomore of the medical student studying blah blah blah, right? Studying in the medical field. I am particularly interested in physiology just because it makes me feel knowledgeable in that field. And I think that it is a chance for me to get a competition, things like that. พี่ให้เราพูดใหม่ได้ไหมพี่อยากได้ประมาณเนี้ย
อ๋อได้ครับได้
โอเคไม่ต้องกดดันนะมันเป็นการเทรนเฉยๆดีละ all right, again, Sam.
โอเค
I just want to ask for the simple question, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about you? Yeah.
My name is Hanas Yawalategeng, or you can call me Nas.
Mm-hmm.
I come from Premudom Suksa School in during my high school.
Mhm.
And my hobby is to read a book about anything that is related to the science or something that is comical.
Mhm.
Um, what I prefer to do during summer break is to learn lesson that will happen in the next year. So when the lesson in the next year come, I can understand about them earlier than other person. Um, about the competition, that it will be a good opportunity for me to improve my physiology skill to match with the international um, international quiz. So so that I can be like having more knowledge in the physiology, which I think it will benefit me a lot for the other year as medical student.
I see. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing the idea of your first interaction, right? All right. So basically, what you just sent me as a guideline for the interview is that you have to talk about yourself, and then they just want to judge or see speaking performance there, right? I think that what we need to do is that is just like a talk and then just explain what you are thinking about that, right? So look at for the first question here. I have to ask you, and then we can do turn taking. So, the reason that I have to let you and me do turn taking is because we can see how to respond in each question, but it depends on an individual, right? I mean, you can respond based on your own, right? But be honest is a key here. And for me, I just want to perform some kind of English speaking skill, and you can see that how well they respond to that question, right? Okay, for the first part is that what have you learned or participate in this kind of like maybe extracurricular activities when you were a college or back into maybe when you were a high school student? Yeah.
Um, I think that what I learned from extracurricular activity when I'm in high school is
Mhm.
that there is one time that I once be a leader in the activity in science club activity, yeah, something like that. And I think that I learn a lot about how to be a leader and how much responsibility a leader should have. Um, this is because in during my during during the time when I become leader at club activity, there is a lot of there are a lot of people who contact to me to do a work of club activity, and I need to get it done, or I will get blame, and my club will be like have 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 a bad name on it, yeah, something like
Mhm.
this. So overall I think that being a leader should come with responsibility to.
Uh-huh. So can you share the most memorable experience when you attend to Olympic camp? Is that right? I understand that you were there for some part, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Can you share the memorable experience or even the experience that you gain, such a life experience there? Yeah.
About Olympic camp,
Yeah.
what I learned is that um sometimes it isn't it isn't about the one who have a best knowledge, who have the best knowledge at start to become successful in the pathway. But I think that the one who is successful in Olympic pathway is the one who improve the fastest.
You
And
mean
yeah,
consistent
it
practice? Is that right? I mean,
yes,
consistent practice. It doesn't mean that those students are shine bright or even excellent at the first begin, but it takes time to practice and then become successful student. Am I right? Things like that, right?
Yes, you are
Yeah.
right.
So you feel that you gain some experience from practicing over there. Am I right?
Yeah. I think that practicing is a main key for successful in the competition pathway.
I see. So it's all about like maybe you can learn some experience, right? It doesn't mean that you can get to be bright student there at the start, but you need to be the fastest learner to get it. Am I right?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
mean.
Okay. Yeah. So when you attend to the university as a medical student here, right? What have you learned because you are a second year already, right? What have you learned for the past year? I mean, over years for year one, actually. Yeah.
What I learned about medicine in medical student, other than knowledge, I think that what I learned is that I think to be good at medical knowledge, I think we don't have to to be like a person who can remember anything at first time. But I think it is about the meticulousness of the person to give a to read a lesson in detail and 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 the person need to read more than one time to understand the whole lesson completely, so they can do a good good score at the final test or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. Can I ask for
In other
more?
words,
Yeah.
I think that
In other words, go ahead. Yeah.
yes. In other words, I think that the person who achieve who will be success at medicine isn't the one who have a good brain or some people who may have and some who may have a good brain or something like this, but it is the one who continue to improve themselves and the one who give a lot to the detail.
I see. You mean like it doesn't mean that all of medical student are talented or even excellent at the start. They gotta get let's say like bright brain for the first start. But it seems to you that you feel that everyone have to consistently practice and sacrifices their time reading a lot and also give a time for practicing a lot in order to achieve or get a good score from a medical exam as a medical student here. Am I right? Things like that.
Yes, something like that.
Okay, great. เอ๊ะเดี๋ยวพี่ถามไปให้หมดก่อนแล้วกันนะเพราะพี่จะดูแบบทั้งหมดก่อน All right, so moving to second question, right? I try to change or a little bit change a bit just because I think that it must serve for your upcoming interview here. So what do you see yourself when you got winning? I mean, successful from this you know exam competition or quiz competition here? Yeah.
Firstly, I think that when I success in the competition, I will first feel a lot of happiness in my mind. But after that, I think that I will want to become successful more in that area. Maybe go to other competition and or maybe just try to improve myself furthermore so that I can remain I can remain success um in my life. Yeah.
So this is the international competition, am I right?
Yes, exactly.
So meaning that all of questions you need to respond in English, is that right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more the structure of the competition? I mean, I just want to know that what kind of questions, inquiry, and how do they expect you to respond to each question? For example, like, okay, let's say like they're gonna ask you for some knowledge, content based, right? So what kind of do you know the process of this competition?
Yeah, the process start with written test first, and the one who pass the score at written test go to the oral test.
Uh,
The oral test will be like I think it's kind of game show where each team send one representative in each
so
time,
how
and
many
if
students in each team?
for student in each team, every person need to take participate in the oral exam.
I see. All right. So meaning that we don't know yet who will be your co-competitor. I mean, your friends to join for this competition, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So you can see on that day. Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So for the next question is that would you like to change your career path or why? So what I can edit a bit is that would you change your mind not to study medical field? Why not?
To be honest, I think that if I can go back in time, I will still choose to learn medicine. The reason is because I think that medicine is fun, especially physiology, where which is the subject that you can't just remember things alone, but you need to integrate your memory to be able to do a question in physiology context, which I really like about it that much. So
Mhm.
in the end, I will still choose to learn medicine.
So this is the ultimate goal for you to become a doctor in the future, all right? Okay, great.
Yes.
So next question is that which is more important between job satisfaction or even getting a high salary in your future professional career? Yep.
Indeed, both things are important especially in our country where salary can mean anything to you. But I think that job satisfaction is also important too because it is the thing that will make you happy to go to work, and it I think it's like to have a passion. It will make you have a passion to work more if you have job satisfaction. So in the end, if I need to choose one between job satisfaction and high salary, I think I will choose job satisfaction. But in case that the salary isn't so low that I can't use it for myself.
I see. Great. Okay, next question is that what have you learned from practical skills? For example, like critical thinking skill, hands-on experiences skill, or study skill, management skill, or whatever skill that you can mention here. You can mention maybe 2 or 3 skills that you have learned so far. Okay.
About the thing that I have learned from practical skill, I think the most thing that I have learned is to think analytically and to integrate the information that I get to produce a new finding on the case. Or because in physiology, I think that if you just remember, if you just have a knowledge alone, but
Mm.
you don't know how to use it efficiently, you can't find the answer of the problem. You need to think about, you need to think and integrate your knowledge to find a new finding in the case so that the answer will appear in your mind.
I see. Right. Okay. เป็นไงบ้าง Okay. So let you do turn taking. You can ask for some question, and I try to respond for each question, and in order to make sure that we can respond in that way, right? Okay. Okay. Let's do turn taking here. Mhm.
Yeah. What have you learned from your university?
What have I learned from university? I have to say that I study language in linguistics and have to, learn a lot more practical skill for teaching or a critical knowledge of, teaching language as a foreign language, right? So I think that it is very important to find myself at university just because I think it can prepare me to become a better version of myself in the future, and I can, do a passionate job after graduating from university. So, all along, what I've learned is that I do believe that I'm lucky enough to learn what I'm really interested in that university. Great. Mhm. ต่อครับ
What do you expect on this job position?
This job position, well, I think that this job position require skills that I can possess from my previous experience. For example, like management skill, coaching skill, or advice.
พี่เริ่มเปิดไมค์อะครับ
เมื่อกี้มันหลุดไปเหรอ
ใช่ครับไม่
Oh
พี่
I'm
หลุดไป
sorry I'm sorry แป๊บนึงนะฮะอารมณ์ทำไงวะเนี่ยเดี๋ยวนะ1 2ซูมอ้าวโอเคมาแล้วใช่ไหมฮะโอเค All right, done, right? Next, please. Okay. ไม่คิดถึงนะละข้อสองนะข้อ 2ไปแล้วข้อ 3เลยครับถ้าอย่างนั้น
ใช่ครับ Would you like to change your career path? Why?
Uh-huh. Well, I think that this has come up to my mind just because I think I have to say that life is changing all the time. So due to career path, and I have to say that I expect to change a career path in the future. But what I expect to change is that I just want to see myself in the next level of my professional life. For example, I become a manager, I become a coaching or even director somewhere else. So this is very important for me just because I think that the career path serve you when you get older or become mature enough to do so. And lots of responsibility must be handled too. So I think that changing a career path is not the way that we haven't had in our mind. I mean, to me, I would say that I think I prefer to change career path if the opportunity allows. Yeah, great. And next, please.
Which is more important between job satisfaction and high salary?
Well, I think that both are equally important to consider between job satisfaction or even a high salary here. Let me put it that way. I have to say that job satisfaction is kind of initiative to start working somewhere else. Because if you do passionate job, you never will feel like it is boring or it might be happens to difficulties just because you can handle it you can feel it, you can do it in the right way just because you love it. You have a high level of job satisfaction here. But in reality, we have to acknowledge that a high salary can be the opening the door for you. A lot of opportunities can be provided. Once you get a high salary, for example, you can make your life to become better, or even you can feel that your life is fulfilling with your purpose, right? So in this way, to those people who choose high salary might be an option too. I used to think like that, but to me, I think I can พี่พี่งงกับเฮ้ยทำไมซูมไอมีปัญหาแล้วเหรอตั้งแต่เช้าแล้วเนี่ยจริงๆแล้วเป็นฟลอร์ของนัดเดี๋ยวแป๊บหนึงครับ sorry จิเอ่อแป๊บหนึงนะฮะ that's it right โอเคมาอีกนิดนึงคำถามสุดท้ายก็ได้ครับอะไรก็ไม่รู้
What have you learned from practical skills and how?
All right. Well, I think that practical skills can be practiced and can be processed in each individuals. I mean, to me, I have to say that the practical skills that the most difficult skill for me is that soft skill and communication skill. I would say that I've learned for years to practice my communication skill just because I think that it is very essential and crucial for everyone who work in a professional way. And some kind of like, the component of effective communicative skills is that I have to pay attention and keep active listening to others and try to, think before speak. So this is very important for all of the things in my life that I have to practice in the, effective delivering or speaking to others, or even, get the, ability to speak or effective communication here. Yeah. And another aspect that I think that I possess so far from the practical skills that ability to be patient. I mean, so basically, in every job require, patience or, endurance or even that commitment to the work, right? So sometimes like practicing patience or even holding on for some kind of skill or skill set that is required in this job is very important. So I've learned a lot from practicing, being patient and then try to wait something just because I do believe that when we wait something, when it takes time, so you can get something in return for sure. Yeah, that's it นะอันนี้พี่พยายามแบบม็อกให้เราเห็นว่าพอเขาดู ability to speak เนี่ยมันจะประมาณนี้แต่ว่าไม่ต้อง expect มากหรอกพี่คิดว่าเราน่าจะได้นะครับเดี๋ยวนี้กลับมาที่ core concept core content ก็ได้ฮะ พี่จะถามอะไรอ่ะพี่งงแล้วมีคำถามถามตัวเองแม่ลองพูดสิ พี่ไม่รู้ว่าต้องถามอะไร เกี่ยวกับ knowledge medical นะเพราะว่าพี่ไม่รู้ว่าแบบพี่ต้องถามอะไรตอนนี้ เราอยากแชร์อะไรบ้างที่เราอยาก
เขา
แช
เหมือน
ร์
จะถามว่าแบบเราชอบแบบกลไกไหนมากที่สุดอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
ลองเพราะว่า
ก็ชอบ
I have no idea much more on the specific mechanism is that right so I just want to hear from you can you educate me a little bit more about what you want to share yeah
Okay, what I think that it is the most interesting mechanism in physiology is in neurophysiology.
Yeah.
There are things that called long-term potentiation. Long-term potentiation is when you stimulate your brain a lot more than usual in just one time, and it can strengthen your neural circuit for the rest of your life. The mechanism of long-term potentiation is that when your neuron or nerve cell gets stimulated in a high in a high stimulation, your neuron will release a neurotransmitter a lot as we talked about yesterday. A lot the a lot neurotransmitter will activate the receptor in postsynaptic neuron more than usual. In usual, the glutamate transfer will only stimulate the AMPA receptor in postsynaptic neuron. But in high stimulation, it will also stimulate the NMDA receptor too, which cause a lot of sodium ion influx to the postsynaptic neuron, and it will change the structure of that neuron. So it will change the structure of that neuron to make more AMPA receptor to the neuron, and after that it will strengthen the circuit because of the improvement of the number of receptor in neuron. The reason that I like about this is that is just one of the things that show that talent doesn't mean that much in learning something new, because the thing that make people learn faster is about how your neural circuit work, not about the number of your neurons cell. And the neural circuit can be improved by long-term potentiation, which just require a more of practice in order to achieve it.
I can feel that you're fluent when you talk or describe something like this. Is that right? I mean, it's flow. It's quite natural when you talk about the process or mechanism of that is related to medical concept, right? Okay. Any interesting medical concept that you want to share? Maybe out of like physiology. I just want to hear.
I have a thing that I found it interesting. This thing is in respiratory system. Unlike other system, the respiratory system mechanism is just something that only depend on physics law. As you know, respiratory system is about when you get oxygen from breathing and you lost the carbon dioxide to the air during breathing. The process like this is only due to something that is called simple diffusion, or something that can be get by only natural process and not require any energy to make things like this. I find it interesting because it's just a natural thing to do, and we don't even need to force it if we not really want to.
I see. But it's all connected to each other, right? Can you talk about the relationship between brain and then how can I say, and then eating system? Is that related? I don't know.
Eating system and what?
I mean, eating system is connected to the brain or not? For example, like liver function.
The sound get yes. And what system that you want to
let's say like it's all about digestive system, right? Is that related to the brain? Digestion.
Can you add on the sentence, because
okay,
the sound
I mean, is there any relationship between digestive system, for example, like stomach, liver function? Is that right? I mean, small whatever that is related
Yeah,
to
yeah.
eating or even digestion system here. Is there any relationship between brain or functional of neurotransmitter or even I'm not quite sure the technical term here, but I do understand that it's about like neuron,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
I
So
understand.
can you share the relationship or
Um,
is that connected to each other? Yep.
yeah, it indeed connect to each other. The brain is there is parts of the brain that control the digestive system. As you know, there is something that is called autonomic nervous system, where maybe when we to attain in a fight or flight situation, our digestive system will have a less blood flow in it, and indeed it will become less active than normal form. And the nervous system is also the one that control about how the digestive system should work, or they should just rest at that moment. Yeah, something like this. And also the brain also produce some neurotransmitter that sometimes may
Ah,
inhibit the
reduce, right?
digestive system, or yeah, or sometimes maybe stimulate the digestive system.
It can
Overall,
happens both
I
way, positive and negative. Is that right?
yes,
Ah, I
it's
see.
just that when the brain should what yeah.
So meaning that when we're hungry, is related to the brain too, right?
Yes. The when we hungry, it is because the glucose in our blood get very low, and it stimulate to the brain in some part of the brain that is called hypothalamus. That area of brain will send a signal to increase appetite in our digestive system.
เก่งจังเนี่ยเขาจะถามอย่างนี้ป่ะ
ก็เป็นไปได้ครับ
ไม่ดูว่าอินเทอร์วิวเหรอหรือว่าถามประมาณน่ะพี่ยังไม่ get competition เท่าไหร่แหละ
คือเหมือน
มัน
ถ้า
ลุกไลฟ์ยังไงอ่ะ
ตอนสอบถ้าตอนสอบจริงคือเขาจะถามคำถามแบบ เกี่ยวกับ
process
ฟิสิโอแล้วก็ให้เราตอบเป็นภาษาอังกฤษไป แต่ว่าถ้าตอนสัมภาษณ์เขาบอกว่าเขาจะแค่ถามแบบเล็กๆน้อยๆเกี่ยวกับฟิสิโอแบบเรา
แสด
พูด
งว่าอยู่
รู้เรื่องไหม
ต้อง practice explaining concept more than just prepare for the interview am I right เพราะว่าอยู่ต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษแบบ fluent วันนั้นถูกป่ะ
ใช่ครับแต่ว่าเหมือนสัมภาษณ์เขาบอกว่าเขาจะไม่เน้นวิชาการมากครับ
ใช่ใช่เพราะว่าพี่คิดอยู่ว่าแบบถ้าสัมภาษณ์เลยจะมานั่งพูดฟิสิโอให้ฟังมันไม่ค่อย make sense ตอนแรกพี่เข้าใจว่าแบบอยู่จะไปแต่ว่าอันนี้แสดงว่า competition คือ judge oral เป็นหลักใช่ไหมครับหมายถึงว่าตัว
ใช่ครับใช่
คำถามเขาจะดูว่าแบบperformance speaking น้องคนนี้เนี่ยได้หรือไม่อ่า I see กันก็มาถูก direction แล้วอย่างงี้it means that you have to practice explaining from I have to say that you can I understand what you're saying here, but some kind of like it happens to me that maybe like the complicated concept or sophisticated concept, especially for a medical term or even a system that you explain about, like some kind of like you I would suggest that maybe it doesn't require to change it just because if you say something for the technical terms and then those people who are listener there they might get the concept easily than simplify to the easy concept, right? For example, like when you say something that inhibit, I understand that is a block, right? Block or reduce,
yes
decrease. But sometimes like in a way of speaking and how to simplify, this is my suggestion. You need to think about that. What word could be more simple than it should get from the technical term. But I do understand that for your competition or how to respond there, you can use some kind of technical term. Is that right? หมายถึงว่ามันสามารถใช้กับ
yes yes
คอนเซ็ปต์พวกนั้นได้เลยใช่ไหมเราไม่ต้องมานั่ง simplify แล้วถูกปะก็คือรันยาวเลย
ใช่ครับใช่
ถ้าอย่างนั้นก็ไม่มีปัญหาปะก็คือพูดเลยเพราะว่า as I can see when you explain something on medical concept here, this is my appreciation. I can say that you can spontaneously explain what you are saying, right, based on the medical concept. But what I'm afraid on that day, just because some kind of like it may happen to like when we choose any medical word or expression that is related to technical terms here, it